bed right now. And I'm really just having this conversation because, as a coach, as a woman who's been in relationships, as a friend, it's just so many women out here saying the same thing. Women I actually know, saying the same thing. And I really want you to know that this conversation is going to be raw, unedited, because I'm live. I'm just going to let the Holy Spirit flow in me. And I'm just going to bring about what He wanted me to say. I'll tell you a little bit about me, my story. Um, but we really need to have a conversation here. So to get started, as you can see, the title says, I'm tired of broken men. And let me just preface this really quick before I get in the story, because I know some of the things I'm going to say is going to be a little bit of triggering. I don't hate men. Let me say that. I don't hate men. I love men. We need men in the world. We need fathers. We need men to be married to. We need leaders in the household. We need men in families. We need men. So this is not a I hate men bash, but it is a very honest conversation that I'm going to have. And it may be triggering, but I do love you. I love you. I love men. I do. We need you. Um, we need you to get better, This goes both ways. And I know a lot of men who are unhealed are going to say, well, women this, well, women that. And when you point the finger at another person, it's a clear indication that you haven't done your healing work. Because if you've done your healing where you are able to sit and listen to someone say something about how a specific type of woman is or a specific type of man is, because just because I say men, I'm only talking about certain type of men that fit what I'm going to talk about. I may not be talking about you, but if the shoe fits, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get into it. So the title is I'm tired of broken men. And let me just say why I'm putting this video out there. I was in the shower and the Holy Spirit kind of brought it to me, and he's like, hey, you know, share a little bit about what you've gone through and share a little bit about like what things you have dealt with and endured so that people can have a good perspective. I am a relationship coach, right? I teach relationships. I know what to do. I've been there. I've been in the bad relationships, which is why I know how to do good. Not I didn't mean to say it like that. I've been in bad relationships, which is why I know what good relationships look like. When you've been in bad, you know what good looks like because you're like, it can't look like this. It doesn't feel like this. And, I got all the healing and therapy and all that things. Anyway, so I could be a person based on if anyone's seen my story. And if you have not, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. But I could be a woman who completely cannot stand men, just hate them. Why? Well, the first experience I had with a man with my father was abandonment. He left me. He walked away from me when I was 6. Yeah. So I had him until I was 6 years old. After that, never seen my father again. Did I see him again after that? Nope. Never seen him again. I talked to him maybe 2 or 3 times in my adult life. So he's not a part of my life. And I could hate men because of that, but I chose not to. After that, my next experience with a man was a friend of my mom's. And if you know my story, if not, this may be a little bit triggering for you. But I've talked about this. This is part of how I teach. But I was molested when I was 10 years old and up until I was for about a year or whatever. Anyways, I got pregnant at 11. I had my daughter at 12. She's 28 years old now. Anywho, that was my next experience with a man, was being taken advantage of as a child and a man stealing my innocence away. Again, I'm sharing this because I'm saying I could hate men and I choose not to. My next experience is just obviously through school. I got pregnant when I was 17, blah, 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 skipped to 20. I also had a relationship with another man in my 20s, and that was a domestic violence relationship. That relationship was very toxic. It was started with mental abuse and control, and then eventually got into physical abuse and things like that. And I dealt with that for 10 years. I could hate men. I literally could just be like, nope, my experiences with men was unsafe. My experiences with men did not work. My experience with men has just been so distraught. But I choose not to. Number one, why? Well, I'm a Christian. And God said that we're supposed to love people. That's first and foremost. Number two, I've gone to therapy to get healing work and to take accountability for me. So I could blame the man I was in a domestic violence relationship with. When I was a child, it doesn't matter. But once I became an adult, I can blame the person I was in a relationship with, but it wasn't all his fault because I chose him and I chose to stay there for 10 years and I chose to endure and I chose to deal with the things I dealt with. I chose it. So I take full accountability for being in that relationship. But here's why I wrote that I can't stand broken men. Here's why. And notice I said broken. I didn't say all men because I love men. Broken men means they refuse to do their healing work. So they go out there, cheat, lie, mess with multiple women, not honest, perverts, whatever the case may be. And then they get into relationships with women and they have this cycle of continuously breaking women. And then women get broken and then they go and then they broken and then they don't do their healing work. And then all these people in the world are just broken, 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 right? But it starts with, here's why I say it starts with men. And it starts, again, I love men and I know this is going to be triggering and it is what it is, but it starts with men because men called you guys to, not men, sorry, because God called you guys to be leaders. As a Christian, God called you guys to be leaders. At 41 years old, and I take accountability for myself, but I can honestly say I have not been in a relationship with a man who's been faithful. Yeah, I have yet to experience. I don't know what it feels like to be in a relationship with a man who has not cheated on me. And that's sad. It's extremely sad. It's extremely sad. But again, I'm putting this video out there because I'm taking accountability for myself. I never have been in a relationship with a man who's been faithful. I've cheated once in my 20s. It was a retaliation cheat, whatever. Learned my lesson. It was stupid. Never done that again because it was pointless. Didn't feel any better about the betrayal that happened to me first. But it's not what you attract. I've learned that as a healer, I attract broken men. They're attracted to me because I teach and guide and all the things. And I don't know if they just think I can help them or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure. I haven't figured that part out yet. I'm still learning that. But I've definitely learned that just because you attract a certain type of man doesn't mean you have to accept him. But as a healer, I naturally want to help you. And so sometimes my discernment is a little off from learning how to not date the men that need help and just help them. I'm getting better at that now though. Um, I'm not really dating her, I'm not doing none of that, but I'm getting better at that now. But just being in relationship with someone and not being with relationship with men. And let me just say this. I've only been in 4 relationships in my whole adult life. Since 20 to now at 41, I've only been in 4 relationships. So I've not had that many experiences with men because when I'm with them, it's long relationships. It's not just a few months here and there. I'm not a serial dater. That's just not what I do. And so I've learned that being with men who have not healed, who have not done their healing work, and when they refuse to do their healing work, has to be the worst relationship to be in. And as someone who really loves people, who really wants to help people, and as a coach myself, it's like I try to make people do more for themselves than they're willing to do. What I've learned. You can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do. You just can't do it. You can see them. Relationships are a mirror. They show you who they are, who you are. A person will tell you, hey, you do this, you do that, you do this, because you don't see yourself, right? However, in those relationships, if a person is telling you who you are and they're seeing from clear eyes means I've done my healing work. I've done what I needed to do to not be blaming and bringing all this baggage into relationships so I can see from a healthy perspective. And I'm not trying to make you be something that I want you to be. I literally care enough about you that I see this is a blind spot for you. And I want you to be the best version of yourself. So this thing you keep doing and I want you to help. I want you to get better at. That's a person who's willing to help you. That's a person that you want to be in a relationship with. But a person who's trying to control you and make you be something that you're not supposed to be, that's not who you want to be with, right? Again, let me go back to my story. So, as a woman who's never been in a relationship with a man who's been faithful, I take full accountability. Even as a coach, sometimes you know better and you don't do better, and I have my own blind spots. And I'll be answering questions too. So if you want to stay on here, I'll be answering questions if you guys have any questions later. I just want to share a little bit about me. And then if you guys have any questions and you need help along the way, just go ahead and ask. That's why I'm doing the live tonight. Um, but I've been in 4 adult relationships. I've not been in a relationship with any man that's been faithful. I take full accountability for that. And and I've done the work. I have therapists. Listen, I don't believe in being a coach and helping others and not having a therapist and me getting help, because I have blind spots and I want to keep growing and learning just as much as I want to help you guys grow and learn. I don't believe in a coach out here just helping everybody, but they're not getting help themselves. No, I don't believe in that. I'm getting help myself. I've been getting help myself or whatever for many, many, many years, and I'm still growing and all the things. But I'm saying all that to say there is something happening where men just refuse to get help. And I really would love for a man to let me know why. I'm not a man. I can't answer that question, but the statistics are out there. I've talked to enough healthy men who've done their work, who are in healthy relationships, healthy marriages, who know how to lead properly, who will help properly and do what needs to be done. I've seen it, and I really want to know, why is it so hard for men to face themselves, whatever it is, and say, hey, and look at themselves in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do better to be a better person, a better human being in the world? Not what can she do, not what they can do, not what my daddy did, not none. What can I do to be a better man? I would love to know why men won't do that. And I understand this is generalized, because clearly there's men out there that's getting therapy and getting help and doing all the things. So obviously I'm not talking about all men. I'm specifically talking about the men who refuse to go to therapy, the men who refuse to get help. Heck, even if you don't go to therapy, there's enough men groups, the right men groups though, because there's some real toxic men groups out there. I'm talking about the right men groups, like watching Harley Initiated, or watching what is his name? Jason something. Oh man, I can't think of his name. I know I can just only think of his first name is Jason. But anyways, there's enough healthy men out there. Watching Deval Ellis, he doesn't really have a men's group, but he's very good with his wife. Watching um, um, R.C. Blake's Jr. He's a bishop though, but watching him. But there's enough healthy men. Watching Dr. J. Barnett, I believe his name on Instagram or on here might be King J. Barnett, but watching him, like, what is the difficult for men to go and get help, to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I need help. I want to be better. I want to be a leader in my family. I've seen the brokenness that I left behind. I see the women that I may have picked that weren't good for me, or whatever the case may be. Look in the mirror and get help. What's so hard about that? Like, when I say I'm tired of broken men, it's because I'm so exhausted with trying to help people, trying to help you guys. And it's like, you don't listen. You don't like listening. And you also don't see yourselves. Like, meaning, if someone tries to tell you something, a lot of times you guys don't take accountability. You don't want to think, you don't want to hear it, you don't want to listen. I really want to know what needs to be done for you guys to start getting the help that you need. Like, what needs to be done, man? And again, this is only for the men who refuse to get help. This is only for the men who don't want to hold themselves accountable. This is only for the men who are dating all these women, betraying, lying, breaking other women, and causing such a turmoil in relationships. I'm not saying women don't do it. This video is about the men. I talk about the women. Trust me. I got videos about them too. but we're not talking about them today. In this very moment, I'm talking about men. So I want you to know that. Why is it so hard? I really want to know because as I value relationships and I know how much men are needed in relationships and I know how much men are needed to lead properly in homes and how much men are needed in families and how the economy and just everything fails when men are not leading properly the way God called you to lead. So I'm tired of broken men is me saying I'm tired of you guys not taking your rightful position, getting the help that you need so that you can lead well, getting the help that you need so that you can be in the position that God called you to be and not just out here doing whatever it is that you're doing. Like, why is it so hard to get help, to look at yourself? I would love to know, or if someone can answer that question. And again, yes, yes, women need to know. But I talk to women all the time. I've been coaching for almost 8 years now. So I talk to the women a lot about what they need to do and how they need to show up and how they need to do the work and they need to be together. And honestly, it's really all about accountability. It's about accountability. Because the same thing I'm saying to you guys, I talk to them about that too. It's not the man's job to do certain things. It's a woman's job to do her healing work. But it's really about each person doing it themselves. It's your job to do your work. It's her job to do her work. Not blaming nobody else, not looking at nobody else. You need to do what you need to do. Hold your own selves accountable. That's what needs to be done. We need to be in a position where we're doing what needs to be done, right? So I'm really on here just saying, fellas, yes, I'm tired of broken men. I'm tired of men who don't hold themselves accountable. I'm tired of men who aren't leading well. I'm tired of men who don't even want to be leaders because we need you to be in that position because that's where you're supposed to be. But you need to be around other healthy men to teach you how to lead well, not just anybody, because everybody don't know how to do this, which is why relationships are at an all-time broken high because everybody don't know how to do it. But if you can take accountability for yourself, not for the women, not for what she needs to do, because yes, she needs to do work too. I already said that, but I'm saying for you, I need you to look at yourself in the mirror and I need you to ask yourself, what do I need to do to become a better person? How can I lead well? How can I stop being in broken relationships and lead by example what a healthy, loving relationship looks like? Um, um, the perspective of I don't want my kids to be like whatever my dad and my parents were. I don't never want to be that. Or whatever my parents showed me in relationships, I want to be the exact opposite. But you want your kids to say, I want to be exactly what my parents were. That's what you want them to say. I was watching Love and what's that show called? Blind Married, Married Blind. I can't remember the name of it. Some show, whatever. I was watching where the people in there they get married at the altar. They don't know each other until they get to the altar and they get married right away. Love is Blind. No, that's not Love is Blind. Married at First Sight. Jesus. So I'm watching Married at First Sight. And Married at First Sight, those people, they just see each other right there. First sight, we get married, right? But in that moment, they go through the relationship and whatever the case may be, learning all the things about each other and blah, 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 blah. But in that, I lost my train of thought while I was even talking about that. There was a reason why I was bringing that up, but now I lost my train of thought. Hopefully it comes back to me. There's some reason I was trying to talk about why I was talking about Married at First Sight. Anyway, back to what I was saying, because I can't remember where I was talking about Married at First Sight. The point is making sure, I remember now where I was going to talk about that. There was two of the girls in Married at First Sight who said the example that my parents gave me for relationships, I don't never want my relationship to look like that. I want my relationship to look the exact opposite of that. And it has to be like a tough feeling for you to feel that way about your parents, and it has to also be tough for your parents, although I'm sure your parents know, to say, I don't want my child to ever be in a relationship the way I was in a relationship, because this was basically detrimental. It wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. I wasn't loved properly. I wasn't taken care of properly, whatever the case may be. Like, don't you want to be in a relationship where your kids say, I want a relationship like that? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want to be in something like that? I'm about to hop off really quick. I just wanted to get on here really quick and just kind of just share my heart with you guys without actually like editing and all the other things, and just saying how it's just very tiring being in a relationship. I mean, it's very tiring not ever experiencing what fidelity looks like, because people have made betrayal and cheating so normalized, but it's very detrimental to a person's psyche, and you don't even care. And also the amount of men who are unwilling to do their healing work and using women to fill up and appease them. Basically, you're using women to make yourself feel better versus just going out and getting a therapist and turning to God and filling you up yourself. So then when you go into a relationship, you're not going to take, but you're going to give and add. What am I adding into this relationship? What I'm putting in this relationship? But when you haven't done your healing work and you get into a relationship, you're going into the relationship trying to figure out, what can I get out of this relationship? What can she give me? What can she do for me? How can she make me feel better? How can she feed my ego? How can she do that? That's a broken man. Because a healed man says, what can I add to this relationship? How can I make her life a little bit easier? How can I lead this relationship well? How can I help her do whatever needs to be done? What can I take off her plate? That's a healthy man. And I want you guys to be healthy men. Again, as I end this, I want to say I love you. I do. I do have a school program. It is on school. It's called the Connected Culture. That's what I meant to say. The Connected Culture is on the School Academy. I have the link in there. I'll put the link down here. I'll pin it down here where you guys can join the School Academy, the Connected Culture, because I really want men to be able to get it together. And I'll have men in there that's helping. It won't just be me. I need men to help me, okay? I have men in there that's going to help lead. We need to go out into 2026 leading well. That needs to be your goal. I want to lead well. I'm done falling behind. I'm done with women saying all these things. I don't care what the women say. I'm going to be part of the 10% of men who are actually operating with faithfulness, transparency, honesty, loyalty, leadership skills, learning how to follow when I need to behind my wife because she's better in a certain area, marriage being a goal. That is what we're doing in 2026. No more of this situationship, having kids and not being in relationships, um all the messy drama, being with multiple women. I'm not with you, I'm with her. We just all the immature, messy, passing STDs around because you're sleeping with multiple people unprotected. Like, we done with messy. It is time, this stage, that we start being healthy men and women doing our healing work. Do your healing work. Sign up for the Connected Culture, my school academy right now. I'm gonna be launching it in January, meaning I'm gonna start the program in January, but you can start and sign up right now, and then I'll start lives and stuff in January. However, if you pay for it right now, I do have courses on there already that you can go in and start going through the courses. As soon as you pay for it, all the courses you can go through, but I won't go live until January. So go ahead, get on the Connected Culture group, and men, do your healing work, please, because we need you. We need you. We need you to be proper leaders so that we can submit and lead well.